me one bag of gold medal pan me no. Red stripe alone champion boy go. Man a pour them a singing anthem to. Red stripe, watch out. Man shall I the forward boy. Red stripe Premier League champion boy score. Every goal when I run from boy. Red stripe Premier League champion boy.
The Red Stripe Premier League for champions only.
The Jerusalem Stadium is the venue for tonight's Red Stripe Football Mondays clash between the home team Waterhouse and visiting Reno. Reno currently 5th in the table, Waterhouse in 10th position. But make no mistake, that 10th position for Waterhouse, although it looks a little dodgy for them at the moment, is a bit of an improvement in what we have seen for the past 6 weeks or so. The FIFA Fair Play anthem about to get the players and the officials out onto the field of play. This is the Jerusalem Pavilion. The Ball Boys setting the stage for the entry of the principals for tonight. Waterhouse, Reno, and the match officials headed by O'Shane Nation with the whistle. A tremendous atmosphere here at the Jerusalem Stadium. I'm Lance Whitaker on commentary. George Davis analyzing what happens here tonight.
Yeah, I expect big things from Waterhouse this evening. I also expect big things from this Reno team. I tell you what, it's a good time to be doing this game, Lance, because both teams are in reasonably good form. If we can draw from Waterhouse's recent performances and Reno's recent performances, especially their last game.
Yes, that is for sure. Both teams showing improved performances in recent weeks. Waterhouse had gone on a 5-match unbeaten run before they lost a controversial match to Portmore in midweek. Michelle Cunningham, assistant brand manager at Red Stripe, meeting the teams, the officials, and here is Tremaine Stewart, who has the captain's armband for Waterhouse, taking Michelle through the introductions of this Waterhouse team.
He's been here less than a season, Lance Tremaine Stewart, and already he's been entrusted with the responsibility of leading this team, which just shows the respect that the rest of the group have for him and Donovan Luke's own expectations from his midfielder.
For the playing of the
we're now getting ready for the national anthem to set the stage for a kickoff scheduled for the next 2 or 3 minutes. Waterhouse fan base, one of the most intense sets of fans that you can see anywhere in the country. They, George, have been horrified by the miserable form of Waterhouse for September and for the better part of October, but I would have to think encouraged by the recent form of this team under Duke's guidance.
Oh yes, they've been given reason to believe by Donovan Duke. They've seen a glimpse of what this Waterhouse team can achieve, fully focused and at full potential, maximum revolution. They will be disappointed if this season peters out. They are expecting a lot from Waterhouse under Duke's guidance, and they've come out this evening hoping that they can, rather than be caustic from the stands, Lance, be not a 12th man, but a 13th man. 2 extra players they want to line up against Reno.
That's right, O'Shea Nation, who stood with the whistle in the Costa Cup final between Rossies and Clarendon College, has the whistle tonight. Stephanie Dale-Yilsing and Oyinko McTaggart are his assistants, and Stefan Dewar is the 4th official. A reasonably cool night here. The field is, the surface is a pretty hard surface, so we expect the ball to move swiftly on this field. And as I said, George, this Waterhouse is the childhood home community of Shelley and Fraser Price. It's going to be fast tonight. Diego Houghton in goal for Waterhouse. Jeffrey Henry Simpson. Henry returning from injury to the Waterhouse setup. Thomas Wright, Laws, who previously played for Reno. Herrera from Venezuela, Mark Miller, Beckford, McFarlane, and Tremaine Stewart as captain. Yeah, and they'll line up with the captain, Tremaine Stewart, number 11. He's going to come from the midfield. Number 9, Andre McFarlane, is going to be making the running up front for Waterhouse. Kemar Beckford and Andre McFarlane, the twin strikers. And then across the middle, Stewart, Henry, Mark Miller, and Herrera. Watch Stewart getting a free role in the middle. He's given license to create by Coach Donovan Ducky. Yeah, the Waterhouse team there looked very, very intense in their pre-game drills, and they are praying at the moment for a good result here tonight. Reno also in a huddle. This is a very, very important fixture here for Reno. Champions back in 1990, 91 and 95, and there's their starting lineup. Former Godfrey Stewart, the Costa Cup winning goalkeeper. Dennis Taylor, Johnson, Linville Wilson, who returns from injury, Tashane Campbell, Shamar Bernard, Mike McLeod, Plummer Walker, Fancy Hugh Stewart, Jashane Foster and Craig Foster. Yeah, Craig Foster is arguably the best finisher on the pitch for either team based on pedigree. He's going to be the man ploughing a lone furrow up front. Kavara Walker to support him, and Fancy Hugh Stewart to create magic from his position wide of an attacking trident. Jashane Foster in the middle and Ramon Plummer on the left for balance. Yeah, we were looking for some outstanding play from Fancy Hugh Stewart. There he is in the number 20 shirt last week in Montego Bay Monday Night Football against Montego Bay, but he didn't really shine that much. He has another opportunity here in front of a huge Monday Night Football TV audience to shine. Craig Foster a little better than he was, although Foster will be ruining an opportunity that he had to win it for Reno last week, but allowed a tame shot to be cleared off the line. Left their coach crestfallen the last time we did Monday Night Football, Lance, because of their profligacy, the quality of chances they got. Reno should have at least scored more than one, and that's why Michael Graham was almost inconsolable at the end. Couldn't believe that they let 2 points slip. O'Shea Nation sets this one off, and Reno immediately with possession, trying to go forward under a lot of pressure. Strong midfield hustle here, and look at the speed at which Kemar Beckford is chasing the ball forward, trying to press this Reno team into early problems. Fancy Hugh Stewart from Paul Bogle in St. Thomas. Oh, good passing here from Reno. Searching diagonal ball across. Unsuccessful in the end, aiming for Ramon Plummer. One of the things Montego Bay United did very well against Reno last week, Lance. Leslie St. Fleur, the Bahamian left back, was very tight on Fancy Hugh Stewart early. Didn't allow the wide forward to get any attacking momentum. That accounted for Reno's sluggish start as an attacking force to the game as we look at Donovan Ducky, the Waterhouse coach. And Waterhouse will be wise to shackle Fancy Hugh Stewart early, not let him get into the game quickly. Had a pretty solid outing as a coach last year, Donovan Ducky, leading Humberland to the regular season championship title. They fell away in the playoffs, but he really had that Humberland team clicking last year, didn't he? Yes, he did, and it was just very unfortunate that they ran out of gas at the business end of the campaign after being the best team in the land, bar none, after 33 rounds. Michael Graham, a former outstanding player at all levels of football in Jamaica, the Costa Cup for Rossies, Reno for in the Red Stripe Premier League, and also for Jamaica. Not too prolific as a striker in the national jersey, but was good enough to make get a few international caps. Yes, indeed, and one of my favorite players from club football. Good to see him get a crack to rekindle Reno's fortunes, at least from the bench. Bernard White for Reno. We're enjoying a lot of early possession. Henry back in this Waterhouse team, coming off an injury. A very solid, no-nonsense central midfielder. Dreadlocked, played for Cavalier previously. There he is. Saw him in the stands for several Waterhouse matches in recent weeks, but now pretty certain that he'll be happy to be back in gear from injury.
The field here at Drewsland is tighter than many grounds that we would have done football on, and so it's a short, snappy passing lance. You have to pass the ball and then dart into space and offer an option for the man on the ball.
Very strong early going here by Reno, trying to crowd Waterhouse in midfield and looking very, very alert here for this away fixture. Brilliant skill there by Kimar Beckford, but McFarlane not taking the pass well.
Bad bobble, the ball bounced on a piece of uneven earth. There's the Reno flag bearer. He goes by the name of Peg Leg, and he'll be doing that all day, all evening, all night.
He was complaining before match time, George, that we keep saying that the flag is bigger than he is, but he contends that he's the same size as the flag. My golly. Reno on the advance. Foster trying to turn, doesn't have the room, crowded out by the Reno defense. There's a foul there. Plummer looking to.
Good call.
Yeah.
Lance, note the complaint that Michael Graham made the last time we did it Monday Night Football at Catherine Hall. He said his team started sluggish, they started slow. Not this evening. They've flown out of the traps like a greyhound chasing the proverbial rabbit.
Yeah, that's for sure. Clear indicators here that they're being guided well by their coach, and they're obedient as well. Foul. Very, very strong tackle there by Jashane Foster. Waterhouse with a free kick. From the left. Few yellow shirts in the box waiting for the curling free kick across the box from Mark Miller. Reno's goalkeeper Taylor tidying the end. Wow, Bernard puts himself in trouble here, unable to keep the ball in.
Yeah, the pass was too strong. Sometimes they have to temper the aggression and the intensity, as on that occasion, simple pass turned into something dangerous. Good call. I hear that the Reno boys love watching themselves on Monday Night Football, Lance, that they put a little bit of extra when they see the sports match truck in the venue.
Oh, that's hardly surprising, is it, George?
Yes, indeed. I hope it translates into goals this season.
Struggle a bit. Very, very curious away record, George. They've been too bad on. They've just won one of their 8 road matches so far, but they've only lost one as well, so they don't really lose on the road. Enterprising attempt there, left-footed, and that one goes completely off the playing area.
Very low percentage effort from the man Beckford.
He looks to have hurt himself as well, trying to twist with a kick as well.
Yeah,
and may have just jolted his thigh muscle. He's humbling a bit. And, he's certainly a key attacking player for Waterhouse. They'd want to ensure that he is fit enough to continue. Look at Reno crowding the midfield and not allowing Waterhouse to flourish. Bernard, oh, he goes for glory from close to 40 yards out.
It was a cross lance. It came off, it skewed off the outside of the boot. He wanted to blast into Foster's direction, which is why the hand of apology went up quickly.
Waterhouse trying to settle the game down, because based on pace and the early exchanges here, Reno certainly looking to have a bit more energy.
I was making the point about having to pass swiftly as we look at Giovanni Benjamin, the man who has been out for 34 months with a knee injury. Good to see him back on the bench. Hope he gets a taste of the action. I was saying that the passes have to be short and snappy, Lance, because the field is so small. Unlike the Catherine Hall Sports Complex, where you have space to beat a man and run into, you don't have that here. You beat a man, another man is coming, so you have to get rid of that ball quickly and move.
Yeah, that's for sure. Usually Donovan Ducky's teams are adept at short, snappy passing movements. So maybe it is that Waterhouse will be quite comfortable in the conditions here. It's a home game after all.
Yeah, but they haven't settled yet. The visitors have settled much more quickly.
McFarlane. Stewart trying to get McFarlane going back in, but there's no way he was going to beat those, well, a cluster of Reno defenders with that play. Bit of an over dribble there. Mark Miller wins it. Beckford. Campbell there with a clearance upfield, but there is Sean Laws, who played for Reno last year, now playing against them with Waterhouse. Henry.
His third club in 3 years.
Yeah.
Cavalier was before.
Cavalier before. The year before Cavalier, he was at Barbican.
There you go. So 4 clubs in 4 years.
Oh, well done, young Laws.
He may be at Sportsmax next season.
And there's Jerome Waite, the Arnett Gardens coach, having a look at a couple of his rivals here. Oh, this is Waterhouse on an opportunity. Beckford fails to deliver.
Wow. What a glaring miss from Kimar Beckford. He jumped way too early and was on his way down when that ball hit him. This is the cross. Look at this cross whipped in. And he made a mess of it. Didn't know if he wanted to go with the head, take it down on the chest, and in the end it rolled off his thigh and into the grateful arms of the keeper.
Oh yeah, that was a bad miss there by Beckford. He seemed to have misjudged the trajectory of the ball as well. It was whipped in pretty hard, and in the end when the ball struck him, he was completely unprepared.
It was a beautiful cross, lads. It was just mistimed badly.
Yeah. So Reno let off the hook after 9 minutes. Taylor screaming at his defenders. Big kick to the far post. Oh, the header is blocked by Taylor. Straight to the goalkeeper. The goalkeeper well positioned. Beckford with an opportunity to redeem himself there. Got a clean header on, but unfortunately for him, it was straight to the goalkeeper.
What a ball. That was a fantastic free kick. On the money, begging Beckford to find the left-hand side of the goal that was gaping. He headed it straight at the keeper.
So, Beckford, joint leading scorer for Waterhouse so far this year with 3 goals. Twice in the first 10 minutes of this match, having opportunities to score and missing them both.
Both times looking as if he was unprepared for the chance, Lance.
Very uncharacteristic of him, I must say, because as far as Waterhouse's attacking force is concerned, he has been, for my money, one of their most impressive frontmen.
He's been a spark for them in recent weeks, no doubt.
Yeah, played previously for Rivoli, former Excelsior student.
At this level, Lance, you have to be prepared. When you're in the box, why are you in the box? You're in the box to get a chance, and that man can't be happy. His top striker, his sharpest striker, gets 2 chances in 2 minutes, and both occasions, he looked as if he wasn't ready. Almost as if he needed to straighten his tie first.
Yeah. In the first 3 minutes, that it was he that had tried that left-footed shot from an awkward angle and looked to have hurt himself a bit. But he doesn't look to be in any discomfort at all now. So we have to think that he's physically okay. This is Henry with a foul. There's Damien Hart, the Arnett Gardens goalkeeper.
You know what, Lance, I like to watch football in these conditions. Nice and cool outside. The players know they can run hard for 90 minutes and be comfortable. No stamina issues, especially at this stage of the season.
That's right. Cabral Walker kicked over there by Henry. And now look at the number of white shirts in the box, looking for a Reno go-ahead goal. The cross is in straight to the near post. And for Waterhouse, goalkeeper is right on the money.
Yeah, good positioning by Chambers.
Oh, the ball given away in midfield. And this is Reno with Fancy Hugh Stewart. A lot of skill from the St. Thomas man. Oh, he's tripped.
I think he may have conned the referee there, Lance. I think he may have conned Mr. Nation. Let's see. Beats one man. Yeah, he tripped over his own foot.
Yeah, I think what happened there was that he had over-dribbled the ball and he knew he wouldn't get to the ball.
Someone says he's been watching too much La Liga on Sportsmax. Taking the worst habits of Luis Suarez.
A threatening free kick here for Reno.
This is going on target, make no mistake, from Foster.
4 consecutive draws for Reno, undefeated in their last 5 matches. 1-1 with Waterhouse when they first met. Henry, Beckford and Miller are the men in the wall. Foster, strike! Unsuccessful, looking for goal number 9 this season.
But very intelligent, Lance. It's the side of the goal that not many people would have expected him to aim for. The goalkeeper was scrambling at the end, but Foster's aim wasn't true. Nicely worked.
At the moment, Foster's 8 goals, only bettered by Rand Miller of UWI, Fabian Reed of Barnett Gardens, and Javon East of Portmore. All those sharing the top of the table on 9 goals at the moment. Foster just behind them on 8. Stewart trying to force Walker forward. And Stewart under a lot of pressure here and breathing heavily early.
He's looking dangerous though, Lance.
Yeah. He's only 20 years old and has really made an impression for the Reno fans early in his Premier League career. Reno trying to keep the pressure on Waterhouse. Stewart coming back in defense to help out. Beckford does well here. Good pass there by Beckford, just changing the angle of movement here for Waterhouse. Christian Armando forcing the ball forward, and the Waterhouse attacking play scuppered.
Yeah, I just needed to take some pace off the ball with the pass.
Opening 15 minutes of the fixture, and Waterhouse could have already scored twice.
Yeah, but those 15 minutes, Lance, have flown by.
Yeah, well, we did say it's going to be fast, George.
Yup. Shelley and Fraser Price territory.
That's right. Miller high for the header. Waterhouse trying to find their way through a maze of Reno midfielders. And the Reno men now have control. Oh, they're giving the ball away, Shamar Bernard. McFarlane trying to go through a pair of Reno players. They are unsuccessful. Bernard now with possession. Waterhouse on the advance. Tremaine Stewart sets the ball across now. Armando! 23-year-old Venezuelan found himself with some room there. Too sure what he did wrong there. He certainly didn't get a proper shot off.
The ball wouldn't sit for him, Lance, and it was an excellent tackle from Plummer.
Yeah.
Wow! I thought it was a bubble, but it was Plummer's boot.
That knocked it behind.
That was good defending.
Yeah, really good defending by Plummer, who is such a mobile player for Reno. You see him often on the front end, and in a flash, he's back helping out in defense.
Crucial interception.
Yeah. Woodhouse. Corner. Oh, the header on! Oh, that's brilliant!
The captain, Tremaine Stewart, hits the bullseye. That was a very, very good header. The Reno defenders still don't know what hit them. Lance, it was simple. It was like ABC, corner kick, Stewart at the near post. One of the shortest men on the pitch. But guess why he won the header? Because he was at the near post. Look at the corner. Look at where he takes up a position at the near post. Criminal marking by Reno. And one of the shortest men puts Waterhouse in front.
Yeah, that was an excellent header from a fairly tight angle, but just twisting his head expertly. And Taylor wasn't close enough to his near post to stop it. What a strike from Tremaine Stewart. Goal number 4 for the season. He had 4 goals for the entire season last year playing for Portmore. And we're just past 1/3 of the season in 2017-18, and he's already had 4 strikes for Waterhouse, his new team.
You don't have to be tall to be deadly in the 18-yard box with the head. Some top international players have proven that. Michael Owen was an outstanding header of the football. So too was the Brazilian Romario. And Tremaine Stewart getting the first header. It's coaching 101. You have to win the first header when you're defending from a corner kick. And they let the offensive player do that, winning the first header. Brilliant goal by Tremaine Stewart.
Reno trying to respond. Bernard with a very strong cross. Bit too much weight on it there. Plummer unable to get close to it. And the ball is behind for a goal kick. After losing 4 of their 6 matches in October and early part of November, Waterhouse went on a 5-game unbeaten run before last week's loss to Portmore, and now they're trying to set themselves up for another victory. Taylor looking comfortable in the end.
Dookie though will go wondering why it's only 1-0. He'll not be pleased, because he'll be saying that the fruits of their labor should be multiple goals, not just 1.
Great play here. Walker, still Walker under pressure. Armando. Good skill by Stewart. Beckford. McFarlane. Waterhouse knocking the ball around Ricardo Thomas. Now he has lost it and Stewart has it. Oh, that's a brilliant challenge, I thought, from McFarlane. But referee Nation calls him back for it.
I agree with the referee, Lance. It was a hip check more than a foot foul. If you'll see the replay, yeah, he hits him high on the thigh. So it's a very good spot by the referee. It's a free kick.
And over the ball as well. Yeah. But it certainly did well to stop Stewart, though. Foster with a one-time kick from distance, skewing wide. There's Craig Foster, Reno's leading scorer. Played football in Sweden, Finland and the USA professionally. Former Manning's player, now back home in the Premier League.
And you know, Lance, Michael Graham, the Reno coach, will be very disappointed with the manner of the goal. The smallest man on the pitch runs away from the defenders. Slack marking aided him as well, Lance. And he was able to get nearest to the ball. But it wasn't his finish good. How about that for a header? Brilliant.
Oh, Henry stumbles and loses the ball. Foster sends it wide here. Poor pass by Foster doesn't give Walker a chance to get to the ball. And it's Waterhouse so deep inside their own half. There's Henry, who just slipped just now and almost allowed Reno with an opportunity at goal. Not yet his match sharpest. Henry coming off injury. Didn't expect Stewart to get by 3 Waterhouse challenges there. We know he has some fancy skills, but the odds were always against him winning that battle.
Yeah, well, he did win a corner. Very good from him, perseverance, and he started brightly. He just needs to link up with Craig Foster. Those two haven't exchanged passes all game, and that's worrying for the Reno team from an attacking perspective.
Well, we saw Waterhouse score from a corner. Reno can't do the same.
Stewart is down with an injury, Lance, on the edge of the Waterhouse box.
Too sure where he is aching. He does look to be in some discomfort. We're halfway through the first half.
Yeah, so what has happened in this match so far? A fast start by Reno. This is the replay. Yeah, no contact. May have been from an earlier incident. May have been from the tackle from, was it Beckford? Who tackled him hard in the midfield just now. May have been feeling the delayed effects of that. But that man would have been happy with how his team started. The energy they put into the first 10 minutes. And then just slack marking allowed Tremaine Stewart to flash home a very, very good header to beat goalkeeper Taylor at his near post.
Yeah, well, Reno know that with a victory tonight, they will move up to 4th place in the standings, displacing UWI. And they put them 9 points behind the leaders, Reno, Portmore and Arnett Gardens. But at the moment, they have their backs against the wall. Oh, great football here for Reno. Foster in the box waiting for it. Bernard under pressure, but wins the ball. Goes for a strike. But again, is way off target with this effort.
Bad decision. Kavara Walker was drifting to his right, asking him for the pass. He was in space. Would have been able to burst inside the box had he gotten the pass. But only Bernard will know why he chose to boot it so high over the goalkeeper's crossbar.
Stewart does really well here. Goes for goal from distance. He was on target with a header, but with a right boot, woefully off the mark.
Confident play from him. Nice touch to set up the shot, nice turn. But on this bumpy surface, ball didn't settle well enough for the execution.
Earned a national call-up about 4 years ago, Tremaine Stewart, and had 6 or 7 international caps. But lost his place in the national setup. And clearly a player on his best day, a pleasure to watch. It's just that, to be fair, he hardly ever delivers at his optimum.
I was wondering if I was jinxing him. Every time I've seen him, when I saw him last season, he didn't play well. And I'd read about his performances in match reports and he would be the star man for his team.
Oh, the back pass that looks a little dodgy. Henry now wins the ball for Waterhouse. Now Thomas. Beckford. Oh, gives the ball away. Campbell. Oh, Foster turns really well here. Walker sprinting off the ball. Now Bernard. Bernard's cross inside. Not a bad one. But the Reno attackers unable to get full control of the ball. It's a foul on to Shane Campbell by the energetic Kamar Beckford.
Yeah, that cross from Bernard into the box just now. Kavara Walker decided to take a touch to control. That should have been a first-time effort, flashed that goal.
Campbell's floating ball inside. Laws with the clearance. Referee Nation is awarding a free kick to Waterhouse.
And because the field is so bumpy, lads, if you notice, not much is being created from the center of the park from either team. It's when the ball gets shunted out to the flanks that we're seeing some action, especially from Reno. Both the left and the right side, especially the right side. And Mark Miller has delivered 2 excellent crosses for Waterhouse so far from dead ball situations, which they didn't capitalize on. And he took the corner from which Tremaine Stewart scored.
Beckford trying to keep that one in. Unsuccessful. There's Craig Butler, the man in charge of Phoenix Academy and agent and manager of Leon Bailey, who currently stars for Bayer Leverkusen in the Bundesliga. Scored twice on Sunday in a 4-4 draw with Hannover 96.
Coming off the bench.
Local football fans are anticipating Leon Bailey in Reggae Boys colors sometime soon. But we're not sure when that's going to happen.
There will be drama before it happens, I can guarantee you that.
Butler and the Jamaica Football Federation at constant loggerheads. Is reportedly not gung-ho over Bailey representing Jamaica under these present conditions. Oh, great football here from Waterhouse. Stewart wins possession, has room here on the right. Building with confidence now. He drove that one goalwards. Taylor with the kick out here for Reno. Stewart's first touch is fairly good, but Thomas showing studs there and gives up a free kick.
Yeah, and I think the Waterhouse players are now wise to the danger that this man poses. Tackles coming in are hard, and look at that. Ooh, the studs raking down the knee. That's painful.
Yeah. Stewart, the 20-year-old from Paul Bogle High School in St. Thomas, scouted from the Digicel Sportsmax Elite League last year. That's where these Reno men saw him and signed him up.
Means I need to find a team in that league next season, Lance. Maybe they'll see me.
The league, George, is under 18. And you're twice that age, almost. Reno on the advance. Chambers with the easy take and goal.
Both teams have flooded the midfield in this affair, Lance, so that accounts for the difficulty in creating from central positions. Waterhouse looked dangerous, Waterhouse looked dangerous when Stewart is on the ball. And Reno looked dangerous when Stewart is on the ball. One Tremaine, one Fancy Hugh.
That's right. Tremaine clearly up for the game tonight. And he's that kind of player, a moody player. He plays on momentum. All sorts of gadgets on show here tonight.
I think that's a first, though. TV director zooming in on someone's Instagram. Is that a violation of privacy?
Henry is knocked over. And Waterhouse will worry about that play because he is coming off an injury and had missed several weeks of football for Waterhouse. Looks as if he'll be okay. Check for Henry, 30-year-old, former Norman Manley player. Ducky, very, very proud coach. And has been very, very satisfied with his tenure so far at Waterhouse, repairing the early damage. Oh, Reno looking very clumsy here in defense, but in the end, no danger.
So the midfielders for Reno must seek out number 20 more often, Fancy Hugh Stewart. He's the man most likely to provide that spark.
Their leading scorer, Craig Foster, can be efficient, but in many ways not as dynamic as Fancy Hugh Stewart is. Linville Wilson retrieving the ball, son of former Reno captain and national left fullback of the same name, Linville Wilson.
He the one they called Pala?
Yes. Fancy Hugh Stewart trying to break clear. Under some pressure, Stewart. Brilliant defensive work that from Carlos Wright in defense for Waterhouse, but the ball comes screaming back here with Reno. Laws with a big strong header out. Reno still getting, well, retrieving the second ball. Campbell. Stewart gives the ball away. Henry does well in midfield. Tremaine Stewart, Mark Miller. Waterhouse looking strong on the ball. Keno Simpson knocking that one inside. Just past the half-hour mark. And Waterhouse sitting positively here on a one-goal advantage. Reno giving the ball away with Linville Wilson's errant pass.
Yeah, the Waterhouse bench applauding the pressing which forced that turnover. And Duki will be pleased with aspects of his team's performance so far in this first half. Michael Graham less so for Reno. Ooh, that looks as if he left something in on that tackle. And there's a man down there in agony.
That's
just in front of the Waterhouse bench.
Yeah, Keno Simpson, I think.
The culprit may have been Plummer. See him walking away from the scene of the crime. Well, no.
Well, yeah, that's him, though.
That's Ramon Plummer.
Yeah.
Here we go. So, just to follow through after the ball was being cleared by the Waterhouse, by Simpson. Called Plummer Studs. Well, at least the home fans, Lance, have gotten a goal to settle them down. Because if this were 0-0, they'd be tending to be up on the players' backs. This is the goal now this man scored, Tremaine Stewart. Watch the free kick by Mark Miller. Look at him. Runs away from the defense and gets there ahead of Linville Wilson Jr.
Oh, he did really well.
It was
there.
a brilliant header, Lance.
Oh, that's a top draw header.
And it was clever of him to seek to occupy that position, which is why I'm giving him so much credit. He did everything right.
Waterhouse looking for goal number 2.
Another excellent cross from Mark Miller, Lance. He's not hit a bad one all game.
Yeah. Mike McLeod with the defensive header there for Reno. Celebrated his birthday last week Monday night while he was playing against Montego Bay United. Was substituted then, but returned 4 days later to score against Sandals in a 2-2 draw on Thursday.
There you go.
So his birthday effort, or birthday success, was belated.
Here's Miller again from another set piece situation.
Strong corner to the penalty spot almost, and Beckford coming in with a header. He thinks there was a deflection off an opposing player. Referee Nation doesn't agree.
What a good delivery from Mark Miller again. Right on the money, right on top of Beckford's head, inviting him to attack it. And under sufficient pressure.
Yeah, that was pretty close. I'm actually not sure if Omar Johnson's head didn't make contact with the ball as well. So maybe Beckford's claim could have some merit. Anyhow, that's water under the bridge at Waterhouse. Less than 10 minutes to the halftime break, and Waterhouse in front by 1-0. This is McFarlane down hurt. Looks as if he'll be okay. Scored 2 goals a couple of weeks ago in their 2-1 victory over Boystown. Former Nativula player as well, Andre McFarlane.
Here comes Miller again from a dead ball situation. His right foot has been unerring in this first half so far.
Former Harbour View standout Mark Miller. Also Excelsior, the cross into the near post.
Well, I built him up. He had to have a bad one, didn't he? And that one didn't beat the first man. And it was low. Didn't get enough whip on it.
Does believe in his dribbling skills as well, Mark Miller. So he has some tools to work with. Very, very good kicker of the ball. And often displays good dribbling skills, which we saw him display at Harbour View before his summer transfer to Waterhouse. Two traditionally strong teams here, Waterhouse and Reno, though neither of them has had National Premier League success in a long time. Reno 22 years ago Waterhouse 11 years ago. No, Bernard has been having a tough game here tonight. The attacking force of Waterhouse keeping him busy. Sean Laws. Stewart opting not to take that ball. McLeod under pressure. Oh, Beckford shows excellent skill. Stewart. Henry's under pressure. Walker wins it. Fancy Hugh Stewart fights hard for the ball. Very, very strong, this man from St. Thomas. And now Bernard. Bernard gets away from his challenges. Henry comes and blocks his intended cross.
Good covering by Henry. Doesn't want to be pulled out so wide, but he was in that position when the play materialized and he stuck with it.
Henry looking pretty solid on his return to the Waterhouse lineup. McFarlane. Oh, great pass here to Stewart. Beckford. Well won there by Foster from Reno, tackling well. Shot from distance by McLeod. Very ambitious, that effort from the 24-year-old.
One of the problems Reno have, Lance, and we can see almost in our right on our eye line from here as Pegleg goes a waving. Whenever time a man on the right-hand side of the Reno attack looks to his left for Craig Foster, Craig Foster is so short. There are 2 or 3 taller Waterhouse defenders between the passer and Craig Foster. So oftentimes it's as if they don't want to bother even hitting it in his direction. They don't believe he's going to get it.
Plummer for Reno. Good skill on the ball, but then doing too much and losing it. Now Foster, now Tremaine Stewart has it. His pass forward has a little bit too much weight on it, but still retrieved. Oh, the pass across is pretty wayward from McFarlane to Beckford. Armando. Great pass inside here to Tremaine Stewart! Turned beautifully, but didn't get the strike he wanted.
Yeah, just didn't get it out from his feet enough to really bend it. It was almost between left and right foot. And though he leaned back to try to get that purchase to curl it around the goalkeeper, the ball's positioning was just not cooperating with him. Here it is once again.
Really good build-up though between Armando, Beckford, and now Stewart.
Lovely.
Well here.
Yeah, they just didn't shift it far enough to be able to bend it.
Oh, that looked really neat though. There are some aspects of this Waterhouse performance tonight that look very pleasing to the eye. Handball. Referee allows the play to go on, and now the whistle comes from O'Shane Stewart.
Referee Nation thought about it and may have been encouraged to blow by the reaction of the crowd.
Not the easiest of venues here to perform, neither as a player, a referee, nor coach.
Yeah. So I was talking about Craig Foster just now, Lance, and pointing to the difficulties that those Reno players on this right-hand side have when trying to find him. And it's almost as if you need someone centrally to link. So the man on the right would pass to that central link, who would then pass to Foster on the left.
Great build-up here by Reno, but Kafar Walker's final pass inside, off target. Tremaine Stewart under pressure, loses it. Walker sends the ball wide. Omar Johnson's pass is cut off. Foul against Miller. Free kick to Waterhouse. That's not Miller, that's in fact Armado, the Venezuelan. Ducky looking studious. Beckford with some exquisite skills. Armado flicking it inside. Shane Campbell fights hard and keeps possession for Reno. Mark Miller knocks him off the ball with a challenge from behind. The whistle quickly from referee Nation. And Foster now has it for Reno. Still Foster. Knocked over. Referee allows the play to go on because Reno having the advantage. Now the referee calls the play back as Reno lose the ball.
Very good refereeing from O'Shane Nation though. Accepted that Foster was fouled right there, but the ball broke to a Reno man, and then that Reno man immediately lost it. Hence the callback and the awarding of the free kick. That's good refereeing.
Free kick to Reno. Can they pull something back here 2.5 minutes before the halftime break? Waterhouse had better organize themselves quickly here, George, because they're taking a pretty long time settling themselves up for this free kick. And Craig Foster is ready to strike. And he scores many from there. 8 goals so far this season for Craig Foster. Oh, make that number 9! What a brilliant strike from Craig Foster, the former Mannix High School star. Brings Reno level at 1-1 before halftime.
Oh my goodness. Take a gummy worm and dip it in sugar, and this is what you get. That was powerfully struck. That traveled at nuts. Goalkeeper went one way, Diego Horton, then was scrambling in the other direction, and only the wind troubled him in the end. That was a cracking goal from Foster.
That was struck with immense power. And now there are 4 goals in Red Stripe, 4 players in Red Stripe Premier League football at the moment, sitting top of the standings with 9 goals. Ryan Miller, Fabian Reed, Craig Foster, and Javon East.
Wow.
This is the kind of strike that the Reno coaching staff wants from Craig Foster. As much as they embrace his presence in their team, you often feel that they still think that he offers just about 70% of his full potential.
Well, they believe he's so good, Lance, as we see handbags on the field, Kavar Walker and Tremaine Stewart getting into it. They were separated by O'Shane Nation moments ago, and they've still continued the jawboning, to use a term in basketball that I rather like to describe these situations. And now they're getting a lecture from the referee. But Lance, that free kick, it was almost as if there was no wall. Foster just strutted up, and oh my goodness, he gave that some violence.
It was struck with brutal force. 1 minute being added on for stoppages. A quarter of that time has already elapsed. Henry for Waterhouse. McFarlane trying to turn. Henry trying to go through. Just a little bit too much force on the pass, looking for Beckford.
Well, I tell you what, as we approach halftime, Lance, this 1-1 scoreline, I think it's a fair result for how this first half has gone. Yes, Waterhouse could have had more than one, maybe should have had more than one. But Reno have also contributed to the game. When you have a finisher as pure as Foster, anything can happen. And my oh my, that was beautiful.
Yeah, I did think that Waterhouse took a long time in organizing their wall. Can't say that that contributed to the goal in the end. But what a strike from Craig Foster, but it was Tremaine Stewart's header. There he is. Middle of the half that set Waterhouse in front, but this man, Craig Foster, cancelled Tremaine Stewart's strike with a beauty. Power and placement. And Houghton had no chance in the Waterhouse goal. So at halftime then, Stewart in minute 17, Foster for Reno in minute 44. It's 1-1 at the halftime break. Back in a moment.
Me say one bag of gold medal pan me now. Red stripe alone champion boy go. Pan up pour them a singing anthem. Red stripe, watch out. Man, shall I better forward boy. Red stripe Premier League champion boy score. Every goal winner run from boy. Red stripe Premier League champion boy now.
The Red Stripe Premier League for champions only.
It's a cool night at Waterhouse, but the action is hot here. Tremaine Stewart giving the home team a 17th minute lead, and the celebration on for Waterhouse, but Reno would cancel that goal late in the half and make it 1-1 at the halftime break. It's been a tremendous battle here between these two teams. In the very first few minutes, two opportunities by Waterhouse to score, both of them falling to Kimar Beckford there. He fails to get a hold of that one. Here with a header, he directs directly at the goalkeeper. So after just a few minutes, Waterhouse there with two chances to score. Reno responding with that strong inside effort with Craig Foster, but Houghton on the near post blocking the ball there. Waterhouse going ahead here with this strike with a perfect header from Tremaine Stewart, former Portmore and Jamaica attacking midfielder Taylor despondent in goal for Reno. But Craig Foster would win a free kick here, and look what he does with it. Power placement. Houghton has no chance. Goal number 9 for Craig Foster, and Reno are back in business at 1-1. Look at the power. You see that in slow motion, and it looks like real time. So for the first 45 minutes, we've seen Waterhouse attempt 7 shots on goal, 2 of them on target. Reno 5 on target, 5 shots attempted, 1 on target. 17 fouls so far in this match, 10 of them to Waterhouse. No cards yet offered in this match. 1 corner for Reno, 2 corners for Waterhouse. Reno having more ball possession at 54%. So the action is tense. The first round meeting between these two teams saw a 1-1 scoreline on the 2nd of October with Craig Foster getting Reno's goal then. He has struck already tonight in the 44th minute, and Reno and Waterhouse are locked at 1-1. The Waterhouse fans would have been very excited by what they have seen so far. Well, they were excited for a long period in the first half because their team was leading. But then just before the end, it was Reno joining them with a 1-1 scoreline. The Red Stripe girls entertaining the fans, and they're enjoying every minute of it. George Davis is on the infield now with assistant brand manager at Red Stripe, Michelle Cunningham.
Thank you very much, Lance. So you saw, well, you've seen the Red Stripe girls. Now is the Red Stripe lady, the assistant brand manager, Michelle Cunningham. Michelle, from Red Stripe's perspective, how has the first half of the season gone?
It's been excellent. I mean, even just this game, the energy, the vibe, the crowd, Monday nights are live and people are really loving it. Loving the 2 new teams, loving what this whole sport is about, what this whole game is about. And, you know, the fans are happy, we are happy, and 2018 is going to be bigger and better. Right, so give us a window into 2018. I know that you and your team must be cutting plans already for the new year, for the other part of the season. What can we expect? Wow, there's so much. I'll give you a little teaser. We really want to try a different angle next year. We want to see how we can, as a company, support Jamaican football even more. And not only us as a company, but how we can motivate other people to support Jamaican football. Let it grow and just kind of build it up as much as possible, because we believe in it. Red Stripe believes in this league. These players, these coaches, they've worked hard this season, and we're going to push along with them, and we're really fighting for this just to build up Jamaican football. When you started the season, the 2 or 3 things that you hoped would have happened planning for the new campaign from the start, now that you have the hindsight of looking over half of the league, have those objectives been met? It has. I really wanted a good turnout. I wanted to give the fans a good show. I think we've been doing that. I also wanted just to bring something new, which we're gonna bring something new next year, and just to see how we can even impact even further a positive effect on Jamaican football.
A beautiful thing will happen next year, early in January. Red Stripe Football Sunday will resume for the first time this season. What can fans expect? It's all about expectation.
Well, you know, we listen to what the fans want, and you know, everybody wants more football. Everybody wants more football. So we're gonna have Sundays and Monday nights. So stay tuned, listen out, just log on to our websites and our social media pages and you'll get more information.
Excellent. Football, Red Stripe Football Mondays to be joined by Red Stripe Football Sundays in January. It's a fantastic event. Lance, sending it back to you.
Michelle Cunningham setting the stage for a big 2018 coming up. We're at halftime with Reno and Waterhouse locked at 1-1 at the Drusland Stadium here in Waterhouse. It's time for our Mind 90 feature, and it's with Reno's, with Waterhouse's Michael McLeod. Reno's.
Michael McLeod, Reno FC centre back. This is my red shirt 90. Football means a lot to me. It's like, football is like my family. Keep me calm and stuff. From about 6 years old. It keep me calm and stuff, keep me out of trouble and stuff. So I just love the sport. Football do a lot for my community. It draws people together to come watch me play match and have fun and everything. Green Pan High School. Watch TV playing video games. My game is about fun. Just enjoy myself and make sure my team wins. Playing football for the rest of my life.
One bag of gold medal pan me no. Red Stripe alone champion boy go. Banner pour them a singing anthem. Red Stripe, watch out, watch out, watch out. Man shall I make a forward boy. Red Stripe Premier League champion boy score. Every goal winner run from boy. Red Stripe Premier League champion boy now.
The Red Stripe Premier League for champions only.
Couple of minutes away from the start of the second half here. Reno and Waterhouse locked in battle. Tremaine Stewart and Craig Foster, the scorers so far on the night. Foster for Reno, Stewart for Waterhouse. It's 1-1 as we get ready for the start of the second half.
Yeah, very, very good first half. Lovely tempo to the game. Two good goals in different ways. Neither coach will be happy with the concession of the goals by their teams. So guess what? The fans have gotten something to get their teeth into. Expect more of the same in the second half.
Fancy Hugh Stewart, key player for Reno, but the Waterhouse game plan appears to be centering a lot around nullifying this 20-year-old.
Yeah, some hard tackles he's been the victim of so far in this game. Has shown flashes of his ability, yet to really get in a position where he can hurt the Waterhouse team, but they've paid very close attention to him. 3 men over there trying to ensure he makes no progress and getting some studs down the knee on that particular occasion, and he has been battling with this man in the latter half of the first half. Jeffrey Grant for Waterhouse being asked by Dookie to keep a close eye on Fancy Hugh Stewart.
Yeah, very, very strong young 20-year-old from St. Thomas, Fancy Hugh Stewart. Kimar Beckford has been one of the top strikers for the Waterhouse team so far this year. He has already had 3 goals this season. An opportunity here in the first couple of minutes to make it number 4, but just didn't get a hold of this ball and wasted the opportunity. A couple of minutes after that, he got a header to strike at goal and then headed it straight onto the goalkeeper. This one he was over the top with, so he has had quite a few instances near the 6-yard box, but haven't been able to make them count for Waterhouse.
He's had 3 chances, 2 very good chances, 1 a difficult one, and all 3 created by Mark Miller from the dead ball situation. Those 2 have linked well, but the forward has not repaid the defender, the midfielder rather, for the quality of his service.
Well, when these 2 teams met back in the first round on the 2nd of October, it was a 1-1 scoreline. Waterhouse actually needed a stoppage time equalizer from Rodrigo Wellington to earn a 1-1 draw after Craig Foster had put them ahead in the 66th minute. So Foster has again struck here for Reno in a Waterhouse fixture. 9 goals on the season now for Craig Foster, jointly with Ryan Miller, Fabian Reed and Javon East as leading scorers in the season. Waterhouse with the kickoff, O'Shane Nation with a whistle.
Well, you heard me comment about Craig Foster's positioning over the course of the first half, and given how the Waterhouse defenders tracked him so well, and then the service from the flanks to him wasn't the best, one suspected that if Foster was going to score, lads, it would be from a set piece, and so it proved from the free kick.
Beautiful touch there from Tremaine Stewart. Farley trying to send Kimar Beckford on. Foster doesn't have a forward pass. Stewart down hurt for Waterhouse, but he's now back on his feet again. McLeod coming off the My 90 feature at halftime, immediately into action for Reno. The cross inside has some drive to it, but Houghton with the easy take and goal for Waterhouse.
That was badly mishit.
Good standing up strong over the ball there, Linville Wilson. Here he's Wilson. Good pass across to Plummer. Plummer under pressure. Miller won't allow him to get away with that ball. And Armano, the Venezuelan, now to Stewart, and then to Miller once again. Wants to force a long ball forward, but doesn't see the players offering themselves for that pass. Christian Armado. McFarlane can't get through a wall of Reno tacklers there. Right with the ball to Henry, and now to Thomas. Beckford under pressure. Forced to go back in their own half, Waterhouse, but displaying some patience and showing that they're willing to start the plays over. Beckford under pressure, hustled off the ball. Campbell to Shane Campbell for Reno, does well. Wants the ball back and gets it. Foster's long play forward, easily taken there by Simpson. Now right, then Laws. Waterhouse looking very comfortable on the ball. Thomas. Henry's under some pressure, given the ball in close quarters. Wasn't able to keep it. Fancy Hugh Stewart and Henry battling for the ball. And the experience of Henry, the 30-year-old, wins over the 20-year-old.
Well,
he's fouled.
Tremaine Stewart is also down, Lance, and I think he's feeling the effects of a tackle he took about 2 minutes earlier, for which O'Shane Nation gave him nothing, and he too is down on the turf. So 2 Waterhouse men, we'll make that now 1 because Henry's getting helped up. Clear foul there by Francie Hugh Stewart. Notice how Waterhouse have begun the second half, Lance. They have taken control of the ball. In the first half, you'd almost think if you strolled into Jerusalem that they were the away team, because Reno was pushing the initiative. And maybe Duke have said, well, this is your home match. You need to put your foot on the ball. You dictate how fast we'll play this game, not Reno.
Yeah, that's for sure. Here's Dookie. Had a plan for the Reno midfield tonight, George, because Christian Armando, who normally plays flank, set up to play flank here, but given instructions to squeeze as much as he can in the middle to sort of nullify Reno's 4-man strong midfield presence.
And he's done that job to a T, but at the same time we've seen nothing from him from an attacking perspective, and he's expected to contribute both ways, both in attack and defense.
Yeah. I thought when they defeated Boyce down 2-1 3 weeks ago at Barbican, Armada was probably the player of the match for Waterhouse, even though it was McFarlane that got both goals. But he was so ever present in the game, setting up plays, a lot of creativity, winning tackles. It was just such a huge presence for Waterhouse on that afternoon. Easy break up there in defense. Johnson for Reno. Oh, that's a great pass here to Plummer. Campbell. Oh, it's Lingo Wilson, in fact, plays inside. Wilson wants the ball back. He's right across his goal here. Now Campbell has it. Reno looking comfortable at the back, but unchallenged at the moment. Reno allowing them deep inside their own half to play around with the ball. Now Waterhouse will want to put the pressure on. Ball played across there. Clearance there made by Light. Was given up the throw.
Well, something has to be wrong with that. Just now on that Reno build-up, Lance, it was Craig Foster who was linking the play. You don't want him linking the play. You want him forward.
You want him finishing the play, not linking the play.
And that's the point.
Yeah.
And, you know, we give him a hard time, Lance, for maybe not being as dynamic as his qualities dictate he should be. But it was from abandoning his forward station that he created the goal that he scored against Beauvais United from inside his own half.
Yeah, set the pass up and then moved quickly to retrieve the return play. I guess it was one of the keys that we had suggested, that Reno's midfielders need to be more proficient in servicing the attacking players and not forcing a player like Craig Foster to be having to drift behind to retrieve balls. Miller fouls Plummer.
Yeah, that's because Kavara Walker gave away the ball. Walker has been giving the ball away all game. The young man clearly has talent, but his passing has just not been good.
Beckford sends McFarlane going down the left side. Stewart. Has a lot of pace and challenges Thomas successfully for the ball. Stewart's attempted cross deflected off right. A bit of a smile there from the 20-year-old. His effort rewarded by a corner.
Good football all around. Stewart just all brute force and pace about him, harrying the defender, forcing the turnover. But Wright cool and standing in the path of his cross.
Corner to Reno. Attempted header by Wilson, not really getting a clean header on it. Under some pressure there is Wilson. Had a stint in the Antigua Premier League for Hoppers FC. Linville Wilson. Now back home and with Reno.
His father, you've mentioned it in the first half. You've mentioned his father. One of the best Premier League players in Jamaica. Of that, there is no doubt. He was outstanding.
I think he was actually captain of the Reno team with their back-to-back 1990 and 91 title successes.
Oh,
Linville
yes.
Wilson.
And that was a top team for him to get that captain's armband in.
Yeah. Very impressed with Shane Campbell at central defense for Reno. Played well last week, but now he appears to be hurting.
Yeah, makes full use of his size. Tall man, Campbell.
This is a grueling night out here for both teams. It's been a hard grind. Oh, the shot on goal scores! This is Waterhouse with Kimar Bedford, goal number 4, and the Waterhouse Firehouse fans are happy. The home team back in front 2-1.
That was sleepy defending. As soon as I complimented the tall man, lads, he jumped, mistimed his jump, missed the ball. and Beckford steaming in. That was a good finish, made to look simple. This is the cross. Mark Miller once again, and Campbell misses Lance. And Beckford doesn't.
You know, this is the kind of finishing I've been accustomed to seeing from Beckford. In the opening 5 minutes, he had 2 opportunities that pretty much resembled that he didn't quite make use of. But the former Excelsior man, transfer from Rivoli, now has Waterhouse fans happy because they're in front again.
What about that cross again? Mark Miller, absolutely on the money. If he's made 12 crosses all game, 11 of them have been spot on.
Reno under pressure now in defense. Campbell sets the ball back to Bernards, whose long clearance downfield. Assistant referee's flag has gone up, but referee nation keeps the ball going as Waterhouse retain control through Simpson now. Stewart doesn't beat Omar Johnson for the ball. Waterhouse fans are pumping again.
Tremaine Stewart has a problem, Lance, with the left calf.
Plummer runs into problems. Oh, Christian Armando trying to flick a quick pass forward there for McFarlane. Doesn't hit the target. And Reno now have a recovery job on their hands again. The speedy, fancy Hugh Stewart goes charging through the middle of the field. Oh, brilliant there from Miller. Laws with a long clearance downfield. Beckford puts the chase on and wins it. That appeared to have been a handball. No whistle from the referee. Beckford is down hurt. Still aching, Kimar Beckford. So he appears to be in a goal-scoring race with his captain Tremaine Stewart.
Oh, that wasn't a foul. He actually kicked the turf and fell over.
Yeah.
Johnson still caught him, but Johnson couldn't avoid him.
Oh, he's in pain. He is clearly in pain. As I mentioned, there's apparently a scoring race going on in the Waterhouse setup there because Tremaine Stewart and Kimar Beckford started the game with 3 goals each. Stewart scored 1 to make it 4, and now Beckford scores as well to make it 4, so it's 4-4 between them as Reno's coach Michael Graham searches for some answers on the sidelines.
Yeah, he'll be very disappointed with the second goal for Waterhouse. That was half-hearted defending. Maybe Campbell was still feeling the effects of the injury which had caused him to go down, and so couldn't get a good leap inlands, but that was a token attempt at heading that ball away, and Beckford gleeful, just steaming in behind him to steer home beyond a goalkeeper Taylor.
Yeah, tough for Reno, who fought hard to draw level here. Now Waterhouse being rewarded by some enterprising play and a really solid finish there from Kimar Beckford for the go-ahead goal. Approaching the hour mark, and Waterhouse are enjoying the advantage. Wow, pretty innocuous play there by Keno Simpson. Unchallenged, but then an inadvertent touch gives up a soft throw to Reno. We're trying to make use of it now. Beckford, Stewart. Great ball forward, looking for Armando. Christian Armando gets a shot on, just wide. I thought Taylor had it covered though. He knew exactly where his goal was.
He did, but I'm feeling for Armando right now, Lance, because the ball didn't settle quickly enough for him. Look at this. Johnson misses his effort. The ball just refusing to settle properly. He has to be waiting. And by the time he takes the shot, not much was on. The angle was against him, he was under pressure. And yeah, Taylor knew he would not have been beaten.
Yeah. So Armando. Christian Herrera Armando, Venezuelan 23-year-old, enjoying himself in Premier League football in Jamaica. Stewart twisting and turning on the ball. His pass, though, unsuccessful. Waterhouse looking to be buoyed by that go-ahead goal, George. They're playing with a lot of enterprise and energy at the moment.
Yes.
Reno not giving up, still keeping the fight on. Foster crowded off the ball by a wall of Waterhouse midfielders.
Jeffrey Henry seems to be in trouble, Lance. He's down and writhing around in agony. Oh, this doesn't look good. Look at that.
He's in a lot of pain, Henry. To think that he's just come off an injury.
Oh, his own teammate Mark Miller.
Yes.
The studs on top of the foot.
Yes, right onto the instep. Here.
Oh.
Oh yeah, that looks to be pretty painful. Yeah, pretty painful collision there, or just Mark Miller coming in to assist there as they tried to force pressure on the Reno player to win possession of the ball. Now Duki may be thinking of bringing some fresh legs on. The moment McFarlane all airs.
Mark Miller's deliveries from set pieces and from open play just create the second goal. For me, they've been worth the admission price alone. You know what? How I feel. This is Miller's corner in the first half, from which Tremaine Stewart opened the scoring. This is Foster's free kick. Brilliant free kick. The first two goals. And then Miller's effort once again. Look at that for curl and bend. And for me, the efforts from him alone have been worth the admission prize this evening. Quality.
Yeah, for sure. Waterhouse would be embracing this transfer from Harborview, with Miller contributing well for them here tonight. Beckford goes charging away down the left side. Campbell puts pressure on. McFarlane. Johnson wins it for Reno. Wins a foul as well. McFarlane apparently struck on the side of the face, so he loses out on both counts.
And even though he got the free kick, referee nation is warning Johnson to keep his arms by his side, saying, I saw you swing the arm just now. I saw you.
Beckford enterprising. Oh, brilliant work by Beckford! To the near post he goes, and Taylor is right there for the take.
What amateur defending by Bernard, though. Right in front of his bench. And his coach, Jim Dandy Graham, just having a word with him just now. That was poor from the right back for Reno. And very lucky. Actually, it was Mackenzie. Or Campbell, rather, who let him through.
Yeah, actually tried grabbing at him as well.
Yeah.
But because he squeezed past him, the referee didn't make a call on that.
So it was Bernard's first arrow. And then Campbell went to grab and decided not to, eh?
Yeah. So Reno looking a little dodgy in defense here, but that, to be fair, is coming from pressure, George, because the way Beckford and Tremaine Stewart are running at these Reno defenders, it's almost inevitable that at some point they'll make errors.
Different Waterhouse team to that which we saw early in the first half, that's for sure.
Armando doesn't have the legs to get to that one. Linville Wilson with a throw for Reno. Plummer under pressure, but protects the ball well. Campbell sends the ball wide here for Bernard. Beckford putting the chase on. Miller. Armando. Oh, he gives the ball away, Armando.
Just at the moment when there are fans in the stands now screaming and comparing him to Alexis Sanchez. The Chilean star who plays sometimes for Arsenal.
Oh, that's pretty unkind, George. I know you have high regard for Alexis Sanchez.
Oh yes,
so
he's a brilliant footballer.
You're just being facetious. Patrick Roberts from Arnett Gardens looking on at Waterhouse. McFarlane. Oh, it does well with a change of pace there. And he's won a corner.
Yeah, Campbell just got a boot in. At the moment he was being left for dead.
McFarlane has a couple of goals for Waterhouse so far this year, both of them coming against Boys Town. A 26-year-old former Waterford player.
I love his work rate, Lance.
Yeah. 3 corners now to Waterhouse, just 1 corner for so far by Reno. 6 blue and yellow shirts of Waterhouse in scoring positions. Miller's free kick, Miller's corner kick. And the ball just slides behind for a goal kick.
Another wicked delivery, and there's a head injury. McFarlane again. And the referee nation has summoned the medics.
There's Miller's free kick again, bending across the goal, and collision of heads there for sure. Including Omar Johnson and McFarlane. Both heads clashing there. McFarlane looking to suffer more from the contact.
So Lance, you already know that I'm looking at Miller for a possible man of the match. When was the last time we were at a Premier League game and saw delivery of this quality sustained from any one player? I challenge you to remember.
Yeah, for me it's been a weak point of the local game, George. And even international, when I look at the quality of crosses sometimes, I think it leaves you wondering why there can't be more efficiency in delivering balls across. Well, Miller certainly has been brilliant tonight.
Well, the Waterhouse fans have let out a roar because a fan favorite, Giovanni Benjamin, has been sent to warm up by Coach Duki. The man who's been out of action for 34 months, that's him.
Suffered multiple fractures in his leg on a Monday night TV game it was to, George, in 2015. And finally, he's about to get back into competitive football. It was a horrifying looking injury, so much so that the cameras stopped picturing the incident which happened in the goal mouth.
Yep. Happened on the night they beat Harborview 7. Was it 7-0? And he scored. He had scored before the injury. Happened on February 24, 2015.
Yeah. It had a sickening look about it, almost like the Gordon Hayward
Oh yes. Dislocated ankle.
NBA incident.
Yeah.
And as I said, that the TV directors at the time chose not to direct the cameras to the leg.
Jeffrey Henry booked by referee O'Shane Nation. Must have been for dissent, mouthing off. Jeffrey Henry, no stranger to dissent.
Big long free kick inside for Reno. Wow. Horton did well in the end, but there's Fancy Hugh Stewart. Oh, good skill here by Stewart. A little bit too much weight on that pass there to Campbell. Campbell does well to keep possession of the ball. Good challenge from Keno Simpson, who appears to win a throw as well. And Campbell, in his frustration, kicks the ball away and invites the yellow card from referee Nation.
Well, had nobody to blame but himself. Had the ball to shield and frustrated at his own effort, failing to protect the ball. But Reno are going to their bench, Lance. Number 25, Bernard, who's not been at the races this evening at all, is being replaced by the man we featured in my 19, the build-up to the game, Afiba Chambers.
Well, I wouldn't say this is a like-for-like change because Afiba is an attacking player and Bernard primarily is a defensive player. So some adjustments are going to be made now in the Reno setup to accommodate Chambers coming on and Bernard going out. As Reno hunt goals here with 20 minutes remaining. Missed the delivery, George. Mark Miller. He has 5 blue and yellow shirts to aim at right across the box, and Reno's defenders get the ball away. Miller, though, has it once again. Oh, the whipping cross inside. Campbell with a header out. Keno Simpson wins it for Waterhouse. Whistle. Oh, a bit of a wild attempt there by Kavar Walker. But the kick is for Reno deep inside their own half. Wilson inside to Campbell.
McLeod is now playing right back for Reno, Lance. And Chambers has gone into a centre forward position, it seems, to support Craig Foster.
Oh, that's right. Plummer, daring dribble across the box, goes for the left-footed effort. Enterprising build-up, but the finishing wasn't what it needed to be.
Yeah, but Stewart was wide in space to Plummer's left, and he didn't pass the ball. Waterhouse's keeper wasting time. Referee Nation going forward to let him know that I'm watching the clock, so whatever you think you're stealing, I'm adding on. Maybe, Lance, at this rate, Mark Miller could work for UPS or DHL. His delivery is so consistent.
Yeah, that's for sure. He's been outstanding tonight. All of his crosses look so threatening. Henry, good skill. Thomas. Plummer. Aggressive challenger for the ball. Beckford gone down injured for Waterhouse.
And of course, Lance, with players like Jeffrey Henry on the pitch, the way he plays football and his experience, 2 men down, 1 for either team. Now is a time where you'll seek to break up the rhythm of the play. If you are Waterhouse. That was a hard tackle and Beckford getting the worst of it. If you can make the game stop-start from here on in, if you have a lead, you are likely to hold it, because the run of play doesn't allow your opponent to make up the deficit.
Craig Foster. Oh, delightful ball through to Afiba Chambers. Foster with a left-footed effort on the rebound. Just tracks it wide.
Wow.
Threatening build up there by Reno.
Yeah, that was a very good pass by Foster. Chambers just hadn't set himself yet, so wasn't expecting it. By the time he looked over his shoulder, the ball was almost under him.
Great turn there by Stewart. Set a little bit wide there. Johnson challenging. McLeod. Foster's Play intercepted by Miller, who opts to go back to his goalkeeper. McLeod is down for Reno. Stewart sportingly kicks the ball off to give the referee and the medical team some time to come to see what McLeod's issue is.
Meanwhile, he gets treatment, Lance. Andrew Isaacs is being given some instructions by the arena bench. He's preparing to come in now. And on the opposite bench, Benjamin, the man who's been missing for 34 months, going through his warm-up, hoping that he'd get the call. Left Excelsior High School in 2010, suffered a broken chin. Well, call it a broken knee in 2015, February 24, 2015 to be precise. 3 surgeries later, that's him preparing to re-enter the fray.
This must be a big moment for him, because the last time he played a Monday night TV game, he left the field on a stretcher in excruciating pain with multiple fractures in the leg. So this is McLeod being stretchered off here now for Reno. So he had been shifted into a right back role to replace Bernard when Afiba Chambers came on. Now that looks as if it's Rondell Morris getting ready to get some playing time as well. So a forced change here being made by Reno as McLeod appears as if he'll take no further part in this Monday night fixture.
Yeah, his number is up on the board. And Andrew Isaacs being given final instructions now by Michael Graham. He's going to come in shortly.
Yeah, I think Rondell Morris, by the looks of things, is completely unprepared for an outing tonight, as he is now getting himself ready with his shin guards and so on, as his entry into this game looked completely unplanned.
Well, Isaacs has been told to sit back on the bench. And you're right, Morris is going to come in instead.
Yeah, so a hasty change of plan there for Reno, caused by that injury to McLeod. Plummer fights hard here, puts some pressure on for Reno. Laws gets rid of the ball. Referee's whistle calls the playback, and Laws, who only a year ago had been playing with Reno, has a bit of a smile on his face there. I guess he may still be friends with some of these Reno guys.
Yes. There's a change. Morris, number 4, in for number 24, Michael McLeod. And let's see how Reno reorganize their defense, given that their makeshift right back is out of the game.
Just 12 minutes of normal time remaining, and Waterhouse are sitting on a 2-1 advantage here. Oh, Reno with a chance, and Laws with a vital clearing header. Morris comes in and puts a shot on. Well, there's an offside call against, I think, Afiba Chambers. Stephen Adele Singh, the assistant referee on the far side, spotting the play.
If memory serves me correctly, Lance, I can't recall an offside call before that one. That may have been the first for the night.
Yeah, certainly at halftime we saw 0-0 for the offside calls. There wouldn't have been any since the halftime break either until now.
Send my prayers to Sportsman, please, sir. Thank you.
So time running out here on Reno to get the leveling goal. So Waterhouse have worked really well here for this fixture tonight. Their resurgence under Donovan Duckis' guidance continue to be in evidence.
Well, it sounds simple, but what Waterhouse have been in the second half is just a far more composed team. When the first half of a game starts, when a game begins, and when a game restarts at halftime, it's a race to establish dominance. Reno won that race from the first whistle. They were the team pressing in the first parts of this game. Waterhouse made sure they were the team who won that race at the restart to wrest the advantage and they've pretty much held it since the second half began. Got their second goal, and now they're looking to consolidate, if not add to their tally.
Reno getting the ball away through Campbell. Fever Chambers putting pressure on, but Carlos Wright bangs this one high and hard. Stewart brings the ball down well, but only for his opponent. Foster is under pressure, fouled by Keno Simpson. Free kick to Reno. Just over 10 minutes now of normal time remaining. And Reno trying to get their urgency going against the Waterhouse team that is unrelenting in their desire tonight. Fancy Hugh Stewart. Strong cross inside. Shouting out, out, out. They don't want to see Stewart idling with the ball inside his 18-yard box. He's given up a throw though. Waterhouse trying to get the ball away. Rondell Morris heads over to the right. Stewart sends Beckford going down the right. 2 against 1 at the moment. Now Reno are coming back in numbers to defend. Oh, a great cross inside here for Armando. Goes for the strike. Oh, this is another Waterhouse attempt. Ball straight across the goal area and behind.
I thought Herrera, Lance, was trying to cut across that ball to bend it back towards the goalkeeper's right-hand post. Look at this brilliant cross from Beckford. Herrera's touch is good, trying to cut across the ball. That was the cross, make no mistake about it. It found its way to McFarlane.
Yeah, that was an effort on goal, right? I'm convinced that was an effort on goal, but it was badly hit and almost brought Andre McFarlane in with an opportunity at the far post.
Waterhouse taking forever to take this corner kick, Lance. To the extent that Reno players had to spot the ball for them.
House, dangerous corner kick across the box. Whistle. The referee's already a free kick to Reno inside their own box.
Yeah, rough play by Sean Laws seems to be the reason.
So Waterhouse on the mend. Started tonight's game with one of their enterprising midfielders, Dasha Satchwell, out of their roster because of a red card against Portmore in their last game. Fancy Hugh Stewart across the box. Henry allows the ball to bounce. Shouldn't have done that, but eventually they get the ball away. Waterhouse now on the counter-attack. Big long ball played forward. Christian Armando under some pressure from Campbell. Keeps the ball well. Henry with a return pass to the Venezuelan. Wilson breaks it up well. Campbell now has it for Reno. There's a Waterhouse player down as well. 2 Waterhouse players down. Oh boy.
Yeah, it's just about milking the clock at this point.
Yeah, this is Miller. Candidate for man of the match tonight, Miller, because of the brilliant service he has offered for Waterhouse.
Well, Lance, the change the crowd has been clamoring for the last 20 minutes looks like it's about to be made. Getting final instructions from Duki, this man. This is a significant moment in the life of the young man. Imagine being 3 years not being able to work, 3 years not being able to do the thing which you are best equipped to do. 3 years wondering if you'll be able to do as much as kick a football again. He's moments away from re-entering the fray. And you can't begrudge him the reception that he'll get from the faithful here inside the Jerusalem Stadium, home of Waterhouse, Lance.
Yeah. And because of the circumstances of that injury on a Monday night TV game, you must think that his mind must be flashing back to that night as well, the last time that he set foot on a football field competitively. So, fans of Waterhouse.
Kavara Walker has been substituted by Arena Lance.
And there's Javane Benjamin, and the stadium announcer sets the stage for a local hero to return in Waterhouse colours on a night when they're in front of Reno by 2-1. He replaces Andre McFarlane. Javane Benjamin on the field now for Waterhouse. Thomas puts the challenge on.
Well, Javani Benjamin has trained hard. Javani Benjamin is here. Let's see what Javani Benjamin can do.
Oh, the ball right across the danger zone, and Reno looking to set themselves up here. Fancy Hugh Stewart sprays it high and wide. Another Waterhouse player goes down in the box.
Yeah, more time wasting, Lance. As I noted about 17 minutes ago, they're trying to break it up, break up the flow. This is good experience, game management from the Waterhouse team. This is part of it. This is how you get your nose across the line in front.
Big Sean Laws, former national goalkeeper in his teenage years. And by the time he was playing under 23s, he was a national defender. So a complete transformation. Still contextually a defensive player, because a goalkeeper is exactly the epitome of defensive work. Oh, Rondell Morris shoves Tremaine Stewart off the ball aggressively.
Tremaine Stewart has also had a very good game, Lance. He was Waterhouse's best attacking player in that first half. Kamara Beckford has come to the party from the start of the second half. Waterhouse have had several outstanding candidates this evening.
Free kick to Waterhouse. It's going to be taken by Jeffrey Henry. Waterhouse would want to ensure that they protect this lead here. They have entered the last 5 minutes now of this game of normal time. They wouldn't want to lose it here. Coach Duffy took over from Admiral Bailey, having seen Waterhouse lose 4 matches in 6 outings between October and November. Has now played undefeated in 6 or 7 of the 8 games that he has been in charge. This one included if he avoids defeat here. Pickford tumbles over. Look at that face.
Plummer goes into the
Plummer.
Yeah, he felt he was fouled, didn't get the call, and so he got up, chased the player, and fouled him. This is him, no call, angry, and he does that.
Yeah, that happens a lot in football, doesn't it? And he is frustrated now because he thinks that the referee spotted his foul but didn't spot the foul against him. Approaching the last 2 minutes of normal time.
Benjamin just got his first touch of the ball, Lance, but it was kicked into his back. Not the kind of touch he'd want. He'd want to get a chance to take a shot at goal, Lance, to run at the defenders.
Foul by Tremaine Stewart on Rondell Morris. Reno, they would recognize now that we're in the closing minutes of this match and they want to keep the game flowing and keep possession of the ball to see if they can force a late equalizer. It was in the last minute of the first half that they drew level in the game. The stage is set for them to, again in the last minute of the match, to pull something out of the bag. But this Waterhouse team at the moment looks unstoppable. Wilson climbs onto the back of Armada. Henry, no haste to take the free kick for obvious reasons. There were several stoppages here, so we couldn't realistically think that we have a lengthy period added on for stoppages. We're told 4 minutes. Keano Simpson has stood up well in defense for Waterhouse tonight. There he is again. And now Miller with an overhead kick. Wilson with a header forward. Foster. Feeber. Chambers trying to keep the ball forward for Reno. Confirmation of the 4 minutes added on for stoppages now. Oh, brilliant football by Kimar Beckford, but the offside call against Benjamin.
The second one of the night, and Tremaine Stewart asking why wasn't the pass played to me? It's because Beckford is trying to get Benjamin involved.
Just a step or two offside in that play. I guess it will take some time for him to recapture match sharpness. Pretty difficult to be out of football for close to 3 years. Really well there. That's a good defensive headed pass. Hawk comes charging forward in goal for Waterhouse. And they're so close now to getting a result. There's Peter Prendergast, former FIFA referee. Stood in the 2002 World Cup finals in Korea and Japan.
South Korea.
And had a controversial moment in that match as well when Belgium were up against Brazil.
Yes. Mark Wilmots had a goal disallowed for what Prendergast deemed to be a foul. Yellow card for the goalkeeper for Waterhouse, David Hope, for time wasting.
So less than 2 minutes of the time added on for stoppages remaining now. A lot of height on that kick out, but not much distance. Just barely clears the halfway line. Waterhouse on the advance. Christian Armando has a lot of room here on the right side. Now being chased by Stewart. Heads towards the corner flag. Does well to keep possession of the ball. Oh, Miller shows really good skill there. Still Miller. Oh, some exhibition stuff now from Waterhouse. Spoiled it.
That's our MVP, lads.
Yeah. Has had an outstanding game tonight, the former Harborview man.
It's being withdrawn by Coach Duki with the mere seconds left on the game. The referee telling him where to get off. He doesn't want to. And he takes a yellow card. Miller does. Takes a yellow card and will take his own sweet time to head to the end where the change is being made. He was being instructed to go the other way. Well, actually Armando coming off.
Yes.
Thought it was Miller for a second. He would say, no habla inglés, referee, no habla inglés.
On for him, Shamari Dar, former Lamavadi Huendon man, and Dunoon player in Manning Cup football as well. Reno looking to pull something out of the bag late. Kamar Beckford, who's also had an outstanding game here tonight. Hustle off the ball by a pair of Reno challengers. The referee has seen enough, and Waterhouse have picked up another victory here under Donovan Duke's guidance. their third win in their last 5 matches, and Waterhouse climbing forward now as they continue their resuscitation in the Red Stripe Premier League. Tremaine Stewart gets the first goal for Waterhouse. This man, Craig Foster, gets the equalizer. Then it's Kimar Beckford that hits the winner for Waterhouse on 54 minutes. And that's all she wrote, as Waterhouse pick up another victory here under Donovan Ducky. And we'll be back with a post-game show after this.
Say one bag of gold medal pan me now. Red Stripe alone champion boy go. Pan a pour them a singing and tension. Red Stripe, watch out, watch out, watch out. Man, shall I make forward boy. Red Stripe Premier League champion boy score. Every goal win a run from boy. Red Stripe Premier League champion boy.
The Red Stripe Premier League for champions only.
So Waterhouse then with a 2-0 victory over Reno climbed to 8th spot in the championship table. Same number of points with Montego Bay United, but with an inferior goal difference. A tremendous headed goal by Tremaine Stewart on the near post, powerfully headed in. Goal number 4 this season for the Waterhouse captain. Taylor beaten in goal for Reno. Craig Foster returns, wins the free kick, strikes it himself, and with a beauty from the right boot. Houghton has no chance in goal for Waterhouse, and the match is locked at 1-1 just a minute before the halftime break. Waterhouse though would win it through Kimar Beckford. Beautifully played free kick inside by Mark Miller, and the side-footed strike from Kimar Beckford wins it for Waterhouse, 2-1, and Waterhouse climb to 8th in the table. 9 shots attempted on goal by Waterhouse, 4 of them on target. 9 attempted as well by Reno, but only 1 on target. 24 fouls in this match, 14 of them to Waterhouse. 3 yellow cards each for each team. 2 offside calls against Reno, 1 against Waterhouse. 4 corners forced by Waterhouse, 1 by Reno. Reno, in spite of their defeat, enjoyed more time on the ball, 52%. Mark Miller is our man of the match. Michelle Cunningham, assistant brand manager at Red Stripe, and they're both with George Davis.
Thank you very much, Dan. So I'm here with our man of the match. The first presentation to be made to him by the assistant brand manager of Red Stripe, Michelle Cunningham. Michelle?
Here you go, Mark. Well done. A beautiful game. The crowd, the energy was high, and you brought it. You're the man of the match.
Thanks very much. Thanks very much.
Okay.
All right, Mark, this is your Sports Max trophy for your man of the match. All right, shaking the hand. All right, good. Mark, tell us about the game. Reno started the more intense of the 2 teams, pushed Waterhouse back somewhat, but you came into your own.
Yeah, first thing I have to give Father God thanks, because yesterday I was never feeling well, and he gave me the strength tonight to come perform for my team. Where we started off a little shaky, then we gradually get into the game. You know, our coach started to give it the energy to push forward more.
The quality of your crossing, Mark, over the 90 minutes had myself and Lance Whitaker remarking that it's been a long time since we saw crossing of this caliber in the Premier League. How do you prepare to deliver the balls as you did this evening?
This year as I'm doing this crossing, so I'm working on my cross behind the scenes when people are sleeping. I'm working on the cross, so I have it right now fully.
All right, finally, Mark, how far can Waterhouse go? You've now moved up the standings with this victory this evening. Can Waterhouse get into the playoffs, get into the semifinals, and get even bigger things done?
That's our aim, you know, to move forward, to right up to the top, because we have the team to do it, we have the ability.
All right, Mark, congratulations. Sportsmax and Red Stripe, man of the match.
Well done.
Good. Mark Miller there, our MVP. Speaking now with Coach Michael Graham from Reno. A long drive back 92 miles from Kingston to Westmoreland. Michael, your impression of the 90 minutes?
Well, we didn't do badly, but it keep plaguing us. We're still letting in soft goal. We have to go back now and work harder. We have to work harder. We have to be more tight at the back. I think in midfield, I think we turn over the ball at times. We make some adjustment inside there, and we were playing fluently. So it's positiveness. It's a positive sign for us. We just have to stop the leakage at the back.
I know, looking back at the both goals, the first goal from a corner, the goal scorer won the first header. I'm sure you'd have been angry with that. And then in the second half, from the cross from the right, your central defender misjudged his header and gave the goal scorer an easy tap-in. Those two key moments, but beyond those two key moments, did you think your defense played well?
Yeah, I think they stand up for the latter part of the game, but that is a problem that we have to fix. We keep making mental laps at the back. I think we didn't have any cover for the centre back. When he go up and miss, I think the right back should have come and cover them. We didn't move, and it's plaguing us. It's plaguing us. We're giving up silly goal like that, and I hope we can stem that in the next game coming.
Michael, you know it's a work in progress football, better than most, and you know that you'll fix one thing this week and then something else will go bad next week. Last week you complained about your start. You had a hot start this evening, but you just couldn't maintain it.
Yeah, that's the game. That's the game. That's how it is. That's why I have a coach. Now, while we started good, I told you that we would have started good. While we start good, and when we reach the latter part of the game, that is where I'm worried. Because we keep getting out of position, we're not keeping compact in the middle of the park. And we did well today. In that aspect, I think we did well there. And now you see the back is giving us problems.
Better luck next time, Michael.
All right, yeah, man.
All right, Michael, Jim Dandy Graham, the coach of Reno. All right, now the winning coach, Donovan Ducky, is stepping forward to speak with me. Donovan, let's take the game half by half. Your impressions of the first 45 minutes.
In the first 45 minutes, I thought we started aggressively. Reno really surprised me. And this is why they are in the top 6 and they're being consistent. I think they have not lost in the last 5 consecutive games. And this proves why they're not losing. We were very aggressive. We tried to play them at line 1, but we had to retreat to line 2 because they handled the ball very well. They tried to catch you on the counter. When we overcome it in the first half, they had more possession. I thought they had more stability in the game. We had to play on the counter. It's important for us to be focused when we start the game. I thought in the second phase of the first half, like in the last 15-10 minutes, we were very tentative. So we got the go-ahead goal. I thought we started to back up. I saw the mental pressure when we scored against Portmore in the last game. Hence, we addressed that during the game. We made some adjustment, and I thought we started to gain the respect of defending in the front field. Hence, we have more possession. I thought we were stable. It was a brilliant free kick by Foster in the first half. Brilliant free kick, and any team in the world could be undone by that kick on any day. So half-time, we spoke again, and we regrouped to fight.
Yeah, we gave Mark Miller the man of the match because of the quality of his delivery. Lance and myself can't recall the last time we did a Premier League game and saw consistent crossing from any one player. He was outstanding. How pleased were you with his individual contribution?
Yes, definitely. Mark Miller played an excellent game, and I thought the team supported that. The team created that. What is important for us is our system of play, the philosophy that we have, the objectives when we defend, when we play in transition both ways, when we attack, and the system created that for Mark. I'm very happy with his performance today.
Donovan, all the best. Waterhouse moving from strength to strength. These fans demand the best, and you and your team are delivering all the best.
Thank you very much, my friend.
Good. Donovan Ducky there, the winning coach of Waterhouse Football Club. So, Lance, the game was all about opportunities, and the man who laid opportunities aplenty on a plate for Waterhouse. They got 2 goals, but Mark Miller's contribution alone, Lance, dictated that Waterhouse should have maybe had 4 this evening.
Yeah, they really played well, Waterhouse. Reno didn't play badly themselves.
Yes.
We heard their coach, Jim Dandy, acknowledging aspects of their game that was pleasing. Just defensively, they were a little bit off. But a good Monday night fixture to end 2017.
Absolutely so. So when next we'll be seen on these screens, it will be in the new year, in 2018.
First Monday in January.
Yes, indeed. All right, so that's it from Red Stripe Football Mondays, Waterhouse and Reno.
Premier League. I miss one bag of gold medal pan me now. Red stripe alone champion boy go. Banner pour them a singing anthem. Red stripe, watcha. Banchella me the forward boy. Red stripe Premier League champion boy score. Every goal when I run from boy. Red stripe Premier League champion boy now. Pop down we run the marathon boy. The bush never made the daddy champion boy fan. Nah man I don't a songsters boy. Red stripe Premier League champion boy. Yeah yo.